Hello and welcome to your citizenship class. Today we are going to practice the parts of the test. For this lesson, you will need a notebook and a pencil. And remember that you can pause the video anytime if you need more time to write. So let's get started. So take out your notebook and a pencil. Have that ready for today's lesson. You will answer these questions in your notebook. So in your notebook, you're going to answer, what is your full name? You can pause the video if you need time to write. So you will write your full name. Number 2, have you ever used any other name? Okay, so for number 1, your full name is your first, middle, last name, your complete legal name. If you have ever used any other name, so if you have a nickname, if you changed your name when you got married, you will write that down. Any names that you have ever used, you will write down. Okay, next question. What is your date of birth? Okay, so your full date of birth, your day, month, and year of the day that you were born. In some countries, people don't remember their date of birth, so go by the date of birth on your green card, okay? Where were you born? This is the country where you were born, where your mother had you as a baby, okay? You will write that down in your notebook. Number 5, are either of your parents United States citizens? So have your parents become United States citizens? You will just say yes or no. Number 6, where are you currently living? Currently means now. Where do you live now? Number 7, who do you live with? So who lives in your house with you? You will write down the names of the people. Number 8, are you a member of any types of clubs or organizations? Clubs and organizations are the names of groups. So this could be, are you a member of a church? Are you a member of a business club? Are you a member of a city community club? Are you a member of a political group? Then you would write that down. Okay, that's number 8. Number 9, when was your last trip outside of the US? So a date of the last time that you flew outside of the country. Okay. 10, how many days have you been outside of the US in the last 5 years? So how long was your trip? What were the total days of your trip? And if it was more than one trip, then you have to add all of the days together. So for example, if you went to Israel or if you went to Africa on a trip, how many days were you there? And then if it was 3 trips in 5 years, you're going to count each of those days. So the total number of days that you left the country in the last 5 years, you will write down in your notebook. So if you need more time to read these questions and to write, pause the video, okay? Make sure you write down your answers so that you can take a picture of your notebook at the end of the video and I can help you with your answers. I can look at your answers in your picture, I can write comments and send them back to you and help you. So again, just pause the video to write down answers about you. Okay. Now, it's a good idea to practice these answers out loud because these are questions that the officer can ask you at your interview, and you have to be able to say the words out loud. So if you want to call me on the phone, you can call me. You can text me and ask for my phone number if you don't have it already. And we can practice these questions on the phone if you want. So just text me and we can set up a time and I can tell you when I'm available to talk on the phone. Okay, so let's do the next activity. In your notebook, you are going to write down questions 1 through 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Write that down in your notebook. We are going to practice some of the 100 questions. So the first 12 of the 100 questions. Okay, so let's practice those now. And you're going to write down the answers in your notebook. So question 1 out of 12. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that we can see this better. Question 1 out of 12. What is the supreme law of the land?
What is the supreme law of the land?
So keep in mind that even though we're writing now in the interview, you are going to have to answer with your words. You don't answer writing down. So, what is the supreme law of the land?
What is the supreme law of the land?
And then in your notebook, you are going to choose one answer and write it down, okay? So let's listen and repeat so that you know how to pronounce these words. The Constitution. Repeat. The Constitution. Okay, the next one. The President. The President. Repeat. The Congress. The Congress. Repeat. The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights. Repeat. Okay? Okay, question 2. What does the Constitution do?
What does the Constitution do?
Listen and repeat. Protects basic rights of Americans. Repeat. Give the president total control. Repeat. Change the laws. Repeat. Petition the government. Repeat. All right, question 3. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words?
The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words?
Listen and repeat. God bless America. The Bill of Rights. We the people. Pursuit of happiness. Now remember, as you're writing down your answers, you can pause the video. Okay, you can pause the video. If you need to rewind to listen again, or if you want more time to practice, you can rewind. So you can move. Let me show you in another video. So we can just I'm going to pick a different video. So if you're watching this on a computer or your phone and you need to move the video back to listen again, or if you need more time to write, then you're going to look at this red bar and you're going to move the bar backwards. So you're going to move it that way, okay? And then you're going to just play the video again to the part that you need to listen to again, if you need more time to write. If you went too far back and you need to skip ahead, you need to fast forward, you can move this bar forward, okay? So let's go back to the questions. So number 3, choose your answer, write it down. Okay, number 4, what is an amendment?
What is an amendment?
Repeat, a law, a bill, an addition or change, a right. Choose your answer, write it down. Number 5, what do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution?
What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution?
Repeat, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Preamble, the Rule of Law. Pause the video to write down your answer. Question number 6. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment?
What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment?
Okay, listen and repeat. Right to vote, freedom of speech, freedom of bearing arms, right to own land. Pause the video to write down your answer. Number 7. How many amendments does the Constitution have?
How many amendments does the Constitution have?
Listen and repeat. 50, 100, 42, or 27. Pause the video to write down your answer. Number 8. What did the Declaration of Independence do?
What did the Declaration of Independence do?
Listen and repeat. Declared our independence from Great Britain. Abolish slavery. Emancipate women. Said the United States is a British colony. Pause the video to write down your answer in your notebook. Number 9, what are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence?
What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence?
Repeat. Life and the American dream. Life and liberty. Liberty and freedom. Freedom of assembly and sovereignty. Pause the video to write down your answer. Number 10. What is freedom of religion?
What is freedom of religion?
Repeat. You cannot practice a religion. You have to practice a religion. You can only practice a religion on Sundays. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. Pause the video to write down your answer. Number 11. What is the economic system in the United States?
What is the economic system in the United States?
Repeat. Communist, capitalist, socialist, libertarian. Pause the video to write down your answer. Okay, the last question, question number 12. What is the rule of law?
What is the rule of law?
Repeat. All laws must be the same in every state. Leaders are above the law. Life and liberty. Everyone must follow the law. Pause the video to write down your answer. Okay? I'm going to show you the answers to the questions. What is the supreme law of the land? Repeat. The Constitution. What does the Constitution do? Repeat. Protects basic rights of Americans. Okay, the next one. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? Repeat. We, the people. Next one. What is an amendment? Repeat. An addition or change. Next one. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. Repeat. The Bill of Rights. Next one. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Repeat. Freedom of speech. Next one. How many amendments does the Constitution have? Repeat. 27. Next one. What did the Declaration of Independence do? Repeat. Declared our independence from Great Britain. Next one. What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life and liberty. The next one. What is it? Freedom of religion. Repeat. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. Okay. Next one. What is the economic system of the United States? Repeat. Capitalist. Capitalist. Next one. What is the rule of law? Repeat. Everyone must follow the law. Okay. So your answers could have been a little bit different and they could have still been correct if you were looking at your 100 questions. If you have not been to class yet because we are shut down for COVID-19 and you have not gotten a copy of the 100 questions from me yet, I'm going to show you where to find them on the USCIS website. This is the website that you can look at for all of your immigration questions and resources. So let me make this a little bigger. I don't know if you can see that, but the website is www.uscis.gov. I'm going to write that down for you. So the website is www.uscis.gov. So let me make that bigger for you. www.uscis.gov. Okay, so this is the website that you will go to find a copy of the 100 questions. So when you're in this website, you will go to Citizenship. Citizenship. So then you're going to go to Citizenship Resource Center. Okay, Citizenship Resource Center. So click there. And then you will go to Learners. Okay. Okay. After you've gone to learners, you will go to study for the test. Study for the test. Let me make this bigger. Study for the test. Then you will go to study materials for the civics test. This is the 100 questions. Civics questions are the same as the 100 questions. Study materials for the civics test. So you click here. Okay, and then you're going to go down. And then right here, you see different things. You can have flashcards for the 100 questions. There's a Spanish version, but I would not study. If you speak Spanish, I would not study it in Spanish because you will have to take the test in English. So if you want to see a translation, if you speak Spanish, that's fine. There's also a Chinese version. You can go to see all. You can look at the translation to help you understand the question. Arabic, Korean, Tagalog, Vietnamese. There are a couple different languages, but I would study in English so that you know the words. If you want to see a translation, you can look at your language. So you can click on the English version, and then you will see them written. All of your 100 questions are written down, okay? So when we look at the 100 questions, some questions have more than one answer. So for number 2, what does the Constitution do? Let me make this bigger. You have sets up the government, defines the government, and protects basic rights of Americans. You have 3 options, but you only have to remember one. Okay, so you only have to memorize one of the correct answers for this one. There are going to be other questions that will say, for example, number 9, what are 2 rights? 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence. You will have to remember 2. You have to memorize 2. So there are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So you memorize the ones that are easiest for you to remember. Most people will do life and liberty, okay? So what are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life and liberty. So you need to pay attention to what the question is asking, because it may say more than that, you have to remember more than one. So let's see, for example, what are the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress? The Senate and the House. The Senate and the House of Representatives. So that's another thing. And then there's going to be other questions that are only about your state or your state government, the place where you live. So it's different for every person depending on where they live. So for example, who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? So they don't put the answer because there's different senators in every state. So you may have to Google the answer to that. I am going to make a video that's going to show you the answers right now, but we are going to have an election in November. So in November, some of the answers to these questions can change. So that's why it is important for you to always look at the answers before you take the test to some of these questions that are not in the 100 questions. All right, let's go back to the website. I'm going to go back to the first page that I was on, and I want to show you on the website, you can also listen to the 100 questions. So right here where it says, this is answers for the naturalization test, and then down here at the bottom, this is audio. Audio is for listening. So you click where the audio is, and then you can listen. So number 1.
What is the supreme law of the land?
Okay, and then you go back. Okay, so you can listen by clicking on that file. I don't know about a cell phone. I don't know if you can still do that on a cell phone. But if you're on a computer, you can try. You can try going to this on your cell phone. Okay, let's go back to our lesson. We have finished the 100 questions. and the N400. Okay, the other thing I would like for you to do is to download the USCIS app to your phone. So if you have an iPhone, you would go to the App Store and you would search USCIS Civics Test. Sorry, let's go back. You would search USCIS Civics Test or just USCIS. And the app is going to look like this. You're going to see this symbol. It's going to say Civics Test, and make sure that it says USCIS, because that's going to go with the exact things that are on your interview. So this is where you can study your 100 questions at home. I would like to ask you to use this app 2 times a week for 10 minutes each time. So maybe you can do it on Tuesdays for 10 minutes and then on Thursdays for 10 minutes. And then send me a text message every time you use this app and say, "Teacher, I studied on the USCIS app." And that way I can give you credit. And you can tell me if you spend more than 10 minutes, say, "Teacher, I did it for 20 minutes. Teacher, I used the app for 15 minutes. This way I can send your time to the office and that will count towards your class time with me. So just let me know. Anytime you use this app, let me know. This is a very good app that you can use on your cell phone to study the 100 questions. So please download this app today and try to use it 2 times a week. And then every time you use it, send me a text message and say, "Teacher, I used the app for 10 minutes, or I used the app for 5 minutes," however long you use the app, okay? All right. In your notebook, actually, no, we're going to do some reading practice. So I'm going to show you a sentence on the screen, and you are going to read it out loud from home. Go ahead and read this sentence. Read this sentence. Okay? Now I'm going to read it to you and see if your pronunciation was similar, okay? When is Thanksgiving? When is Thanksgiving? Repeat. When is Thanksgiving? Repeat. Okay? Let's try another reading question. And this is going to be part of your interview. The interviewer is going to ask you to read a question, and they're going to check for your pronunciation. So they're going to see if you know how to read in English. You are going to have 3 chances. So if you don't read one correctly, they're going to give you 2 more to read. So let's try another one. Go ahead and read this sentence. Now I'm going to read it to you. Who is the father of our country? Repeat. Who is the father of our country? Repeat. Who is the father of our country? Okay, let's try another one. Go ahead and read this sentence out loud. Repeat. When is Columbus Day? When is Columbus Day? Okay. Now I want you to notice something about these sentences. These are questions, okay? In the reading part of the test, you are going to read a question. You do not have to answer it. You just read it. They'll say, "Okay, now read this sentence." And you'll see that it is a question. You don't have to answer this part. You just read it to them. Okay? let's try some writing practice. You are going to write down the sentences that you hear in your notebook, and then you will pause the video if you need more time to write. I am going to say these sentences 2 times. So in your notebook, what I want you to do is I want you to write 1, 2, and 3, because you're going to have 3 sentences, okay? So I will say the sentence. You pause the video if you need more time to write. But just remember that in the real interview, the interviewer will say the sentence 2 times. You can ask, you can say, can you please repeat? Or please repeat, or just repeat. And they will say it. Sometimes they will say it, sometimes they won't. But you have to start writing for them to repeat it. If you don't start writing on your notebook, if you just listen and you say repeat, and you don't write anything, they will not repeat. So you have to start writing. So you listen, you start writing, and then you can say, can you please repeat? And they'll repeat again. Okay? So take out your notebook and a pencil. I'm going to give you 3 sentences, and I'm going to say the sentences, each one 2 times, and you write. Because we're practicing, you can pause the video if you need more time. Okay. Your first sentence is, the president lives in the White House. The president lives in the White House. Pause the video if you need more time to write. Okay, let's look and see if you wrote the sentence correctly. So number 1, the president lives in the White House. So the first letter of a sentence is always capital. President is a formal term, so that is capital. And then White House, that is an important building in the United States, so that is capital. And then we put a period at the end. Now, if you did not make them capital, most of the time the interviewer is not going to say that that's a mistake. Most of the time your sentence can still be correct, even if it's not capital. And if you misspell something, as long as it does not change the meaning of the word, you can still get the sentence correct. So for example, if you say, let's look at this sentence, white. If you spell it, let me get out of here and show you. So if you spell this sentence, white, like this, they may say, okay, that's correct. Or white, something like this. As long as it sounds like the word, then the interviewer may say, okay, that sentence is correct, because you know how English works. Let me see another word. So for example, the month February is spelt like this, February, but many Americans say February. So if you were to hear the interviewer say February and you write down February, the interviewer might say, okay, that's fine, that's correct. So as long as it sounds the same when you read it back, you could still get the sentence correct. So let's go back to these sentences. And now I'm going to give you sentence number 2. I'm going to say it 2 times. And if you need more time to write, pause the video. Okay, ready? United States citizens have the right to vote. United States citizens have the right to vote. Pause the video if you need more time to write. Okay, let's check. Number two. United States. United is capital and States is capital because that is the name of our country, and also because United comes at the beginning of the sentence. Citizens has a Z, have the right to vote. Okay? Let's try the next sentence, the last sentence. I will say the sentence 2 times, and you can pause the video if you need more time to write. Ready? The United States has 50 states. The United States has 50 states. Pause the video if you need more time to write. Okay, let's check this sentence. The United States, so United States is capital, has 50 states. Now I want to show you something with this sentence. You can write the number like this, or you can write the word. Either is correct, okay? Okay. Now we have reached the end of our practice. So after you watch this video, if you have taken any notes, please take a picture. Take a picture of your notes and text those to me so that I can give you extra credit and so that I can help you. So if there's a mistake, I can show you and send you a message to help you. The other thing is, please download the USCIS app and try to use it. If you need help and you don't know which app to download, I can send you a picture from my cell phone to show you the app. So let me know if you have any questions. And at the end of this video, when you finish, send me a text message and say, "Teacher, I watched the video," or "Teacher, I watched," so that I can give you credit for this video. All right, I'll see you again for another lesson.